Rifles with exceptional value deliver accuracy, reliability, and features well beyond what their cost suggests. These 5 picks, chosen from budget-friendly and mid-priced guns, have earned reputations for punching above their weight. Each offers build quality or performance usually found on much pricier rifles. From an entry-level target rifle to workhorse hunting guns and tactical rifles, these selections cover a range of roles. We've gathered expert reviews to ensure the information is up-to-date and factual. Number 5, Tikka T1x MTR. Tikka T1x MTR is one of those rifles that makes you double-check the tag and wonder if somebody mispriced it. Its market average new is $607. Built in Finland under the Sako Tikka banner, it's supposed to be a modest rimfire trainer, but on the range it shoots far past its bracket. Reviewers have called it a wonderful performer, and more than one test shows it printing tight little clusters in 22 long range right out of the box. Sub-MOA with factory ammo isn't a stretch here. Bolt throw is short, slick, and solid, though some folks note the lift is stiff enough that a kid might struggle. The trigger, factory adjustable, and when dialed down, it's one of the cleanest production triggers in this tier. Josh from Pursuit of Accuracy measured his at about 1.5 pounds, breaking like glass. That's competition level feel on a rimfire you can buy without blowing up your bank account. Now, not everything's perfect. The polymer stock is the weak link. Flimsy, awkward grip angle, and it can mess with consistency if you leave as is. Even Josh admits it's terrible and plans to drop the barreled action into a chassis. But that's the beauty of it. The action is T3 compatible, meaning you can swap parts, stocks, and accessories as if you were running Tikka's bigger centerfire. The barrel's threaded too, so running a can or brake is easy. Accuracy: with the right ammo, it stacks groups. Ely Tenix, Lapua, SK, feed it what it likes and it'll reward you. Reliability's solid, though the occasional misfire shows up with some lots of Ely, and because it's a 22 long range, you're training and plinking for pennies. Value's where the T1X really outshoots its price. You get a true bolt-action trainer, Sako-grade barrel, competition-worthy trigger, threaded muzzle, and upgrade paths everywhere, all for a fraction of what a custom rimfire rig demands. That's why precision shooters heartily recommend it, whether for backwoods varmints or steel plates at 100 yards. It's not just a cheap rifle, it's a legit precision tool that happens to be cheap. Number 4, Ruger 1022, semi-auto 22 long-range carbine. You can't talk budget rifles without mentioning the Ruger 1022. Since 1964, it's been the go-to plinker, starter rifle, small game classic. Street price hovers around $230, and for that you get a semi-auto 22 long range that just keeps running. Millions sold worldwide and still one of the most popular rifles on the planet. The recipe hasn't changed much because it works. Lightweight, around 5 pounds give or take. With that, controls are simple. Crossbolt safety, paddle mag release, and the rotary 10-round magazine that Ruger basically perfected. That little drum design keeps feeding smooth, and while there are aftermarket mags all the way up to 100+ rounds, the 10s are still the most reliable. Load, shoot, repeat. It's that easy. Accuracy? With decent ammo, sub-2-inch groups at 50 yards are common, and if you tinker, it'll do better. One shooter showed his carbine stacking half-inch groups with Gemtech subs. It's not built to be a precision rig, but it surprises people who only expect cheap fun. And the aftermarket. This is where the 1022 leaves everything else in the dust. Stocks, barrels, triggers, bolts, and sights. If you can imagine it, somebody sells it. You can turn the same base carbine into a suppressed varmint rifle, a precision trainer, or a tactical build dripping with rails. That's why some owners say the rifle you buy at the store is just a starting point. Out of the box, it's easy to run. Iron sights are included. Ruger also ships a scope base. The gold bead front is quick to pick up, and if you want optics, the folding rear flips out of the way. No drama, no fuss. Reliability's baked in, and with 22 long-range ammo still cheap, you can shoot thousands of rounds without draining your wallet. Number 3, Savage Axis 2, bolt-action hunting rifle. Axis 2 isn't fancy, but it shoots. Savage has been doing this forever. Button-rifled barrels that just want to stack holes and the Accu trigger that lets normal people get a clean break without a gunsmith. Street price? Typical $350 to $420. That's wild. Range days tell the story better than spec sheets. Good ammo, sub-MOA isn't rare. Feed it Hornady Precision Hunter, Federal Gold Medal, or your best hand loads, and you'll see 5-shot groups flirting with an inch at 100. One tester outright called his groups half-inch with match ammo before a random flyer showed up. The barrel is 22-inch carbon steel, and the gun will absolutely pay you back if you buy decent rounds instead of the bargain bin. Cheap ammo? Expect 2 to 4 inches. Don't blame the rifle. The action is where you're reminded it's a budget gun. Bolt lift isn't buttery, and the cycle feels a little gritty compared to a 7.83 or mid-tier 110, but it feeds and fires. When you press the AccuTrigger trigger, adjustable roughly to 3 to 6 pounds, it breaks without the muss you usually get at this price. Plenty of folks drop in a $20 spring to go lighter, or splurge on a Timney if they want to turn it into a project, but you don't have to. Out of the box, it's hunt ready. Stocks are the weak link in this class. The factory synthetic is light, flexy, and free-floated by a hair. It works, and the ergonomics aren't awful, but if you want every bit of accuracy, swap it. A Boyd's laminate with pillars or any stiff chassis will stop the POI shifts you see when a plastic forend flexes on a bag. Do that and the rifle starts punching way above its sticker. Chamberings cover the hits: 243, 270, 308, 30-06, 6.5 Creedmoor, and more. Detachable box mag, drilled and tapped for optics. Expect 2-piece bases on some trims. If your XP bundle comes with the scopes and rings, assume the rings are your weakest link and replace them before you chase ghosts in your groups. Axis 2 is the definition of outshooting its price. It's boringly accurate with good ammo, reliable enough to drag into bad weather, and cheap enough that you can put your money into glass and still end up ahead. Call it what it is, one of the best deals in bolt guns, period. Number 2, Palmetto State Army AR-15, 5.56mm semi-auto rifle. Palmetto State Armory. They build rifles for people who want an AR that just works without paying rent money. This one's their 5.56 Blim carbine, and yeah, the price tag is the jaw dropper. Around the $480 mark when you catch it right. American-made, mil-spec where it counts and set up to run. Spec sheet without the fluff. 16-inch 5.56 NATO barrel, 1 to 7 twist, carbine-length gas, free-float M-lock rail at about 13.5 inches with real QD sockets, so sling goes on clean. Standard mil-spec BCG, mil-spec trigger, A2 grip, basic adjustable stock. Nothing boutique, everything serviceable. The barrel on this trim isn't their FN Premium. EDSA reserves those for pricier uppers, but this one still shoots the way a duty pattern AR should. Call it a 1 to 2 MOA gun with decent ammo and glass. Not a precision stick, a practical one. Function's the part that matters, and this sample did what it was supposed to do. Cycled clean out of the box, held bolt open, no mystery mouths, no weird gas issues. It ate range ammo just fine. That's been the running theme with PSA's ARs. They don't need $1,500 to prove they can run drills, shoot groups, or live at the range all weekend. Build philosophy's minimal and sane. Sling, optic, rifle, that's the loadout. The free float rail gives you real estate for light and tape later, and the top rail handles whatever optic you want. We topped ours with a budget 1 to 6 LPVO for testing, and it did everything it needed to do. If you want to shave dollars, there are cheaper mounts that still hold zero, none of that changes how the gun cycles. Gripes? The rail has QD points, but the basic stock only takes a clip-style sling unless you add a QD insert or swap the stock. It would be nice if PSA tossed a rear QD in by default like some competitors. And sure, the trigger's mil-spec, no surprises there. If you want a cleaner break, the AR aftermarket is the deepest pool in the game. Same story for stocks, grips, lights, you name it. Blemish note. People obsess over the word blim, then they can't even find the mark. A tiny scuff under the forward assist or a scratch on the barrel finish is typical. It's cosmetic, doesn't touch function. If you've made it this far and would like to see more like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. Number 1, Ruger American Gen 2 bolt-action sporting rifle. The American got the glow up. Gen 2 takes everything people loved about the old budget king, price and accuracy, and fixes the stuff we hated, feeding and feel. Street sits right around the $600 mark when you find it right, and that's the whole headline. Premium features at a sub-$600 vibe. What it is: threaded, fluted barrel, detachable box mag, M-lock forend, textured stock with cheek riser inserts, spiral fluted bolt, and a 3-position safety. It looks better, it handles better, and most important, it feeds. The Gen 1 would shoot lights out but could choke on magazines. This one ran clean through every goofy angle test we threw at it, and upside down feeds without a hiccup. First groups were silly. In 223 rim, 3 shots stacked into one hole more than once. Think .35, .47 MOA with SIG marksman and similar loads while we were literally shooting off improvised rests. Ruger never had an accuracy problem. Gen 2 just keeps that scary accurate for the money thing alive. It isn't perfect. The Monte Carlo style stock puts the heel low, great for getting your eye up, annoying when you're shooting prone. Trigger feels very Gen 1, long travel, noticeable creep. You can shoot tiny groups with it, just not fast. Aftermarket solves it if you care. Also, the barrel channel on our sample was tight on one side, and this plastic forend will flex enough to touch the tube if you torque it on a bag. Watch your bipod or rest so you don't create flyers. The feeding fix is the big win. Double stack non-rotary mags loads easily and actually runs. Add in the 3-position safety. Bolt lock, bolt unlock on safe, fire, and day-to-day handling is just better. Caliber coverage is classic Ruger. Common hunting rounds now with the long-action bruisers covered in the line too. Bottom line, $600 gun, $1,000 behavior.